Hello everyone, this is Suzanne at The Gospel Truth. Welcome back. Well, I did it. I decided to color my hair. It was, that orangey, blondish color, then the big gray streaks and everything. Well, this is supposed to be a smoky color. It turned out a little bit darker, but as you can see, there is some kind of smoky grays here. Now, I think when my own gray grows out now that it's going to blend in, as I wash this, it should get lighter. But it's going to have the gray, as you can see, it's going to have the grayness in it. I'm getting used to it. I think it looks pretty nice. It's more even now, more colored. And I'm anxious to see as I wash it how the gray lightens up. I think it'll be really pretty. All right, today I took Ron to his PT appointment. And then I got home and I had a video call with my gastrologist. I went to a new gastrologist, and he's ordering a digestive scan to be done on my stomach. They're going to send me all the paperwork and stuff, and I got to get it scheduled at the hospital. I guess they give you some stuff to eat, and then every couple hours they do a scan of your stomach to see how well your stomach is digesting your food. I may have a problem with that. Maybe that's why my tummy hurts all the time after I eat, or I just don't feel good. So it's a good start. And they're going to get records from my other place that I was going to see what has been done and what their plan had been with me. So I'm excited about that. I'm feeling a little better. The pain meds the doctor upped me on and all the things that in the hospital has seemed to take the edge off the pain in my back. Tomorrow night, I have to be at the hospital at 8:30. They're doing my MRI of my back at 9 o'clock. And then on May 7th, I go back to the surgeon's office to see if I need surgery or exactly what is going on. So we're praying that it's not going to be surgery. The doctor seemed pretty sure that it was a pressed nerve and crouching in my back from my cage that's already in my back. So we'll see. We're just taking one day at a time with Ron's upcoming shoulder surgery. And sometime in June, he has to go back to his heart doctor. He's going to be due he's been 10 years. He has to have another pacemaker put in. So we have a full plate of seems like doctors are on our calendar more often than not during the month. And then, of course, Ron has his physical therapy on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which after May 15th will change to Tuesdays and Fridays. So, yeah, it keeps us running quite a bit. But I guess it's good to get up and keep moving and keep just taking one day at a time and staying in that box. Because if I look at the calendar, I get overwhelmed. Like I look at 2 days ahead. Okay, this is this and this is tomorrow. And then I drop it. And that seems to work out pretty well for me. All right, if you need any prayer requests, if things are going on with you, let me know. If you could please hit that like button. I see a lot of you are viewing, but you're not hitting that like button for me, and I surely would. It only takes a nano of a second to do, and I sure would appreciate that. All right, we are back in the Master Potter and the Mountain of Fire book, and now we know that the demons are really going to start attacking Beloved. They've decided if they can get rid of Purity, maybe murder her, or do anything they need to do to get Forsaken to fall back into the Master Beguiler and all that bad crowd. They're trying to very much discourage her from following Master Potter. Let's see if she holds up. Garment of Praise, Chapter 30. The storm intensifies, and frozen gusts engulf the wagons. Death's voice screeches amid the thunder. Attack! Destroy! Tormenting spirits of accusation and shame drop from the churning clouds and slither under the tarps to harass Beloved. You could have saved your team if you weren't so distracted with Purity. You never should have been a leader anyway. A divorced woman? Who do you think you are? Weak and worn out from loss of sleep and the trauma of the previous night, Beloved tries to summon the troops to pray. Demons beat down on her at every turn with more poisonous accusations that explode like arrows into her heart and mind. When Satan starts attacking our mind because of our past, They will twist it. They will make it's all your fault. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than everybody else. You think you've really been forgiven. You're a divorced woman. You committed adultery. You did this. You did that. And if we listen to those voices and let it mess with our mind, we will give up. And we need to always come back with, get behind me, Satan. This is not right. You are telling me all these lies and trying to get, I don't live there anymore in my past. I'm a new creature in Christ. So get out of my face. Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to tell you a story. I got Ron this book. And yesterday he said, I can't find my book. I don't know where I put it. Researched his bookcase 3 times. I went all the rooms, couldn't find it. So I sat down and I said, Lord, I'm asking you to direct me to that book. Ron's looking for it. He wants to study some more. Please, Lord, send me to where it is. I got up. I went to the bookcase. I started looking, and boom, I went right to it. It was kind of a dark covered book, and there was a dark cloth next to it, so it was easy to miss. But just like that, God answered that prayer. And I'm going, okay, God, I got some more requests here. But, sometimes God answers those little prayers like that just to show us, I hear you, I'm here. So awesome when that happens. If you're such a great leader, why didn't you rescue them? Master Potter will never trust you in leadership after this. What good is it for you to pray? It didn't help your team, did it? Purity moves close to her and whispers, I'm really proud of you, Mom. It wasn't your fault they made bad decisions. Putting her arm around her mother, Purity rubs the back of her neck affectionately. You're too hard on yourself. You're not, Master Potter. You did your best, said Harvester. Long-suffering sits by watching. I wish I knew how to help Beloved. I guess I'll just pray silently. I'm their leader. They could be injured or dead right now. Beloved bows her head in despair, remaining unresponsive to Purity's affection. All efforts to encourage Beloved fail as the demons gain more and more ground and she entertains the sinister spirits. Invigorated by their success, they renew their efforts to lure her to death and his master. You should go back, even if the others won't. How can you leave them in his hands? You could become a hero instead of an utter failure. Master Potter made you responsible for them. Beloved covers her face with the burlap blanket and turns away. Repeat after me. Long-suffering watches her old enemies of self-hatred and despair attack her friend. Master Potter, help Beloved now, prays Long-suffering. You help her, Long-suffering. You're the answer to your own prayer, says her guardian angel, exhorter. I don't understand. What can I do? You're familiar with these tormenting spirits. You've struggled with them all your life, but they can be defeated. Should I use my sword? Yes, use the word. But I'm going to give you another weapon, he says, holding up an embroidered, multicolored robe. It's beautiful. What is it? Slip it on and you'll see, he says, holding it open. It's a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Boldness comes over Long-suffering that she's never felt before. This can't be happening to me. Exhorter rolls his eyes at her and touches her head. Faith immediately floods into her. Praise the Lord. Master Potter will provide a way of escape. She kneels by Beloved and begins to sing over her. Let God arise and your enemies be scattered. I'm such a failure. I lost 2 of my mugs, moaned Beloved. Long-suffering looks discouraged and turns back to her guardian angel. I can't help her. Don't give up. Your friend needs you. Self-pity and despair wrap their tentacles tightly around Beloved's chest, making her voice dull and lifeless. Go away, Long-suffering. I just want to be left alone. No, Beloved, your team needs you. Help, get it off me. Long-suffering screams as the tentacle of self-pity grabs her too. Exhorter comes alongside her and whispers, just stay calm. You can prevail over these spirits. I'll teach you. Lay your hands on Beloved. Long-suffering leans over Beloved and another tentacle coils tightly around her. Help, I can't do this. We're both going to die. You have power you don't understand, says Exhorter. Repeat after me. I break the familiar spirits. Whimpering, Long-suffering repeats. I break the familiar spirits of self-hatred and pity, and I command them to leave now, a new boldness. Now sing, commands exhorter. Hesitantly at first, then clearer and clearer she sings. Let God arise and let his enemies be scattered. Long-suffering watches in amazement as the garment of praise begins to glow. Her warfare songs activate angelic swords to slice through the demonic realm, holding her beloved. Whimpering, the evil spirits exit the wagon. Freed, beloved cries out, "Thank you, long-suffering. I'm going to be all right now." A new boldness comes over long-suffering. "Everybody listen," she says excitedly. "We need to break the enemy's back with praise. Really, it works. Sing with me." Exhorter laughs. She's getting it. Beloved begins to sing in her prayer language, and warm tears gently flow down her cheeks as her rich alto voice activates the heavenly realm. Turning to her guardian angel, long-suffering asked, "I really like this coat. Can I keep it?" He laughs and said, "It was made just for you." Isn't that great? When our friends are in trouble, we need to gather around and we need to pray, uplift them in prayer. We need to strengthen them. We need to call upon the church, anoint them with oil. We really need to send praises and songs up to God. And the stronghold of Satan will be defeated on you. Fallen Warrior, chapter 31. Watchman rides to them and encourages the little group in their worship and adoration. Before leaving to go to the next wagon, he informs them that they are about to enter treacherous pass. Last night's storm added another heavy layer of snow to already dangerous conditions. At this time of year, there's always a possibility of an avalanche. You must be very quiet until we reach the other side. The slightest noise could bring it down on us. Golden incense gathers for delicate cups and saucers. Hush, everyone. Now is the time to silently pray in the spirit. It may not be loud in the natural realm, but it shouts in the spiritual realm. Comrade's demise. Huge angelic warriors position themselves strategically along precarious paths, fully armed and ready for battle. Their fiery eyes search out the landscape, infuriating the demonic horde. Ministering angels move among the vessels, giving comfort and imparting faith that Master Potter has not deserted them. Nonetheless, tension builds as they progress along the narrow trail. The vessels are not used to being quiet for a long time. Looking for Comrade, Purity calls out softly, "Comrade, it's Purity. Where are you?" Listening carefully, all she hears is the crunch of ice under the wagon wheels and the howling wind outside. About to give up, she makes one last effort, looking into the dark shadows under the shelves. Gasping in surprise to see Comrade with his arms around Tender-Hearted, she hurriedly returns to her mother. Lust attacks. The winged serpent, Lust, coiled in the recess of the wagon, watches the couple. He waits for just the right moment to deliver his poisonous venom. As soon as Purity leaves, he quickly intrudes into Comrade's thoughts with powerful fantasies and delusions, awakening deep, sensual urges. Holding them tightly with his ghastly wings, Lust puffs up into an enormous cobra, striking Comrade with his deadly venom. No longer able to keep his lusty appetites under control, he erupts in desire and passionately plows Tender-Hearted to himself. Beloved comes running to the scene just as Comrade jumps on the fragile china saucer. A large clanking proceeds, a sharp crack as his heavy weight falls on her. Tenderheart cries out in pain as she breaks in half. The sexual sin of Comrade provides the open gate for which death is waiting. Signaling his troops to launch fiery missiles into the mountainside, they sent off tons of snow and ice. A thunderous roar and terrible shaking of the earth vibrates through precarious paths. Before the vessels have time to react, the snow violently tears through the tarps, smashing the fragile pots against one another. Watching from above, the devil's delight as the avalanche powder cloud rolls down the slope, taking out Beloved's wagons and 6 others. Tumbling over and over in the horrific onslaught, the wagons finally come to rest in the bottom of a steep ravine, crushed by the enormous weight of snow and ice. Morbid excitement gushes over death, and he orders a new assault on the hurt and dying vessels. Out of the powdery catastrophe below the huge winged serpent, lust arises, screeching his victory over comrade. This is another way that demons get to people is through their lustly desires. Comrade's been after her for a long time and has had these thoughts, but has been able to stave them off, but not this time. And she broke in half. And now sin is ever crouching at the door of comrade. And this is sad. This is very sad. What is going to happen to all of them? Let's move on. Chapter 32, Search and Rescue. After the deafening roar of the avalanche, all is still, and for a moment there's a strange silence. As Elder listens, all he can hear is the wind howling down the pass. Looking down the incline, he and Watchman see only splintered pieces of wood and powdery shards strewn across the slope. Faintly at first, then more clearly, the cries of snowbound vessels begin to be heard. Elder turns around and shouts orders to the drivers of the unscathed wagons. "You men, come with me. We're forming rescue teams. The rest of you get warm clothing and food prepared, and pray with all you've got. We need Master Potter to help us." When he turns back around to see Watchmen already at the bottom of the ravine starting to dig, several drivers grab shovels and start the climb down the steep ravine. Death ruthlessly leads his demonic invasion into the depths of the snowbound wagons, attacking the helpless vessels. Chaos and confusion reign over the devastation. Watchman takes out his shotgun and fires off a supernatural blast of glory, opening the heavenly portals in the realm of eternity. 2 celestial gates swing open, allowing explosions of light to burst into the Earth's atmosphere as angelic reinforcements thunder through the portals. The battle intensifies. The righteous anger of the Father roars through the heaven for the victims of death and his henchmen. The battle intensifies, and fiery angelic warriors release surges of resurrection power. Glistening swords slice through the demonic shroud over precarious paths, giving entrance to divine light and burning off the heavy fog. This heavenly invasion brings new strength to the rescue teams as they courageously fight to release the vessels from the snowbound tombs. Caught off guard by the sudden explosion of heaven's power erupting in their territory, the demons regroup and rush once again into the battle. Vile black wings emitting demonic energy come into contact with the glory and radiance of the angelic warriors. Soon terror fills the bloodshot, hooded eyes of the diabolical horde as yet another demon is pierced. Screams spew from their blasphemous mouths as judgment from the throne is visited upon them. The dark spirits realize they're overwhelmed by the determined fierceness of the surprise attack. The battle intensifies and confusion hits their ranks, causing some to flee as their evil cohorts are flung into outer darkness off the tips of fiery swords of light. Buried alive. Encased in an air pocket of debris, Beloved opens her eyes and sees a soft golden canopy around her. Tears well up in her eyes and she prays, "Oh, please let Purity be okay." Unseen by Beloved, her guardian angel Valiant is holding up the side rails of the wagon, preventing them from destroying her. The golden light from his celestial body shimmers brightly as she prays. Still, she is pinned down, and she panics as the reality of her situation presses upon her. "Oh, God, we're buried alive. Where's Purity? Get us out of here. Master Potter, where are you? I need you." In the midst of the snowy grave, a powerful surge of peace flows into Beloved and quickly changes her panic into faith. Through the wooden shelves, she can hear the faint cries of other vessels. She waits for her rescuers to come and prays fervently for her daughter. Radiating hot spots of prayer rise through the snowpack covering the wagons. The ministering angels see fiery flames shooting forth from the icy prisons, alerting them where to dig. As the men reach the wagons and begin to shovel, they partner with the angelic, receiving supernatural strength. The first one to be uncovered is Fearless. Watchman gently wipes the snow from the wine carafe and, clutching him tightly, asked, "Are you okay?" "Yes, I'm fine. What happened? It feels as if the entire mountain came down on us." "It did. We got hit by an avalanche." "Is everyone okay?" "Casualties." "No, Fearless. There are many lost and injured. We're setting up a first aid wagon in the back for the chipped and cracked ones. Will you help transfer the injured ones to the first aid wagon?" Angels draw the rescue workers to the hot spots of prayer. Unseen hands guide the men to each vessel. Shouts of joy reverberate throughout the camp as trapped vessels are uncovered. But some are crushed beyond repair and do not survive. They find a heavy wagon wheel lying on top of Steadfast. The crushed platter lies still and lifeless. His guardian angel carries his spirit to the Father. Grieved at the tremendous loss, the exhausted crews work even harder to locate survivor. The sounds of shoveling and the voices of excited drivers send hope to Beloved. Strong hands enter the little air pocket, grasping, yet unable to reach her. Suddenly, she feels unseen hands and sees a glimpse of golden wings as she is lifted to the top. After wrapping her in a warm blanket, the angels return to pull Comrade out. Just as he is starting to regain consciousness, they bring up the broken pieces of Tender-Hearted. Clutching the side of her stretcher, he begs to go with her. Sorry, but she didn't make it. You're obviously not part of her set, so you can't go with her. Where's the cup she belongs to? Who's her teapot? Comrade is in shock, but manages to stammer. Golden Incense is her leader, but she's still in the wagon with the rest of her team. Have you seen Purity? Hurrying to a group of rescued vessels, Beloved scans their faces. Purity, have you seen my daughter? She's just a little mug. I don't think they found her yet. No, we don't have any mugs here. You might want to try over behind those wagons. Frantic, Beloved runs through the snow. I can't lose you again. I just got you back. You've got to be okay. The open door. Deep groans divert her attention back to the rescue site as Fearless helps Harvester to the surface. Limping up to Comrade, he angrily confronts him. Comrade, what were you thinking? She wasn't your saucer, shouts Harvester. You've endangered everyone just so you could get what you wanted. Weeping, Comrade grieves. We were made for each other. You don't understand. I really loved her. She understood me. We prayed and worshiped together. We had so much in common. We should have been put in the same team. You were not made for each other. It was wrong. Gesturing to the rescue efforts, Harvester tells him, when you jumped on that little saucer, it gave the enemy an open door to bring an avalanche. Your sin gave the enemy the right to attack us all. How can you say that? It may have been wrong, but it was just between the two of us. I feel awful about her, but don't try to blame me for all this. Fearless angrily pushes in. Grow up. What one person does affects everyone. Your sin opened the door for his demonic attack, whether you wanted to admit it or not. You were Beloved's second in command, and you used your influences to seduce Tender-Hearted. Just look around at the devastation and pain. Fearless continues his journey to take Harvester to the first aid wagon. Unable to locate Purity and wild with pain, Beloved returns to the splintered wagon and begins to dig. It seems like hours to Beloved, but finally Elder runs to the exhausted Beloved and yells, We found her over here. She was thrown from the wagon. She's been under the snow a long time. We need to get her out of here as soon as possible. Now, what was said here about when we sin, we never sin to ourselves. It always affects the people around us and causes hardships on families. A young daughter that gets pregnant, the young man walks out of her life. Now it's up to the family to help raise that child and clothe it and feed it. That's a heavy burden. A husband commits adultery against his wife. It splits the family apart. The children, everybody, all the dynamics change. Alcoholism. Husband gets in a crash, kills somebody. He's off to jail for the rest of his life. What we do directly affects other people. We need to think very, very carefully before we're tempted with sin. We always need to run away from it, and we need to pray very hard when sin crouches at our door. Rescued. Running after Elder, she rounds the corner. What she sees causes her to stop abruptly. Purity is wrapped in a wool blanket, unconscious, and being cradled in Watchman's arm. Rocking her gently, he sinks quietly over her. Beloved's mind suddenly flashes back to the wilderness when Amazing Grace held her in despair. Revelation dawns on Beloved. In a flash of insight, she realizes that Watchman is Holy Spirit. Throwing herself down, she weeps with joy. Holy Spirit, you saved my daughter. Oh, Purity, I thought I lost you again. Barely breathing, her lips blue from the awful cold, Purity is racked with pain from her wounds. Elder gently reaches down and removes Beloved so Watchman can start the hazardous climb. Where are you taking her? Most of the wagons have been destroyed. Watchman responds, Master Potter has sent new ones, beloved. Purity and the other injured vessels will leave immediately on the first wagon. Of course you can ride along. Follow me. Beloved and Watchman, who's carrying Purity in his arms, start the treacherous climb to the road. Unseen by Beloved, Gallant and Valiant follow closely behind. Purity and dozens of other injured vessels are loaded. Casualties are high, and many are still buried below. Watchman tells the driver, Night is quickly approaching. We must get these vessels to the mountain of fire. Master Potter is waiting for them. Cries of desperation escape the loaded vessels. We can't leave our friends behind again. We just can't lose any more vessels. There are plenty of helpers still digging. We will keep searching as long as there's hope for any survivors. The loaded wagon moves out a precarious pass. Unable to sit up from exhaustion and pain, Purity rests her head on her mother's chest. Wrapped in her arms, she falls asleep as her mother sings her special lullaby. A mournful, tender song fills the wagon with love and hope. Imposing guardian angels keep watch over the wagon as it slowly makes its way toward the mountain of fire. Despite the wind and cold, their expansive wings cast long shadows along the wagon. Okay, we're going to stop there. And then next will be part 3, The Dark Night of the Soul. Chapter 33, Mountain of Fire, Welcome Home, and the Lord's Beautiful Parlor. Those sound like exciting chapters, don't they? Okay, let me back up here. Look for my book so I know where I'm at. Well, this was a very good study. How exciting. The demons were certainly after them. They wanted to get Beloved, and through Comrade's sin, an avalanche came. The saucer was broken in half. Just horrible things happened because of his sin. And then all the helpers came. They're digging for survivors. They're tending to their wounds. They're getting them up to the first wagon. And a lot of good things have happened out of all this horribleness. And when we come together and pray together like they did, we will get help from heaven. And we have to remember that. All right, you have a most blessed day in the Lord. Tomorrow I'll be back on. We'll be reading a few more chapters, getting through this wonderful book. I hope you're learning many lessons along the way. Maybe you can relate this journey with some of the journeys in your own life, and you can reflect on that. You can sincerely thank the Lord where you are at today and how he brought you up out of the mire and the muck and gave you a new life in him. It indeed is a blessing, and we mustn't never forget that. All right, take care. Have a great day.